Hello friends, today we have Aditya with us. Aditya is a pass out from SRM Chennai and after that he worked with Petrofac, Dubai. And he is here to share his experience about his college with us. Welcome Aditya.
Right.
So Aditya, how did you go with your preparation for joining SRM?
Well, back then, during my 12th, I was mostly preparing for common entrance exams and all. So out of which even SRM gave this kind of a prospectus and they were calling for applications. So I just applied for it, and because I was specifically looking for Chennai and SRM was based in Chennai, I kind of focused on it and it worked out well. Yeah.
So how did you prepare? Self-study or?
It was mostly self-study. I didn't really prepare anything extra. And even the questions asked were mostly generic questions, things that you would know with basic minimal preparation. It's not intensive like IIT. So it was fine. I could prepare well. Yeah.
So how did you zero down on your branch?
Honestly speaking, back then I never really had any preference for a branch. It was more like socially everyone had this impression that EC was among the best. So which I don't quite agree right now, but then that was a trend back then. So I took EC because that's what everyone was doing.
So, college description in brief words, how was the academics in your college?
I think the college, academics wise, it was okay. I wouldn't say it was great, it was okay. And it mostly depended on the professors. If the professors were proficient, it was a good experience. Otherwise, it was very much depending on you, how much you were willing to learn. But then more than the academics, I think the extracurriculars and the various events, that was a part I learned a lot.
So, tell us more about these co-curricular activities.
Well, from my second year onwards, I started involving into coordination of events. And slowly I started progressing and eventually I became an event organizer in a lot of events. I became an event organizer. So I was very active in the students' committees and all.
So, how do we have infrastructure availability in SRM, labs? And
It depends on which campus. Now the campus I was in is the main campus. So they had amazing infrastructure, they had amazing labs. When I was there, the campus was just coming up. So a lot of things were under construction. But at least now I'm sure everything's done and it's all great. It's great infrastructure.
So, hostel life. How about hostel life?
I wasn't quite in hostel. I was a day scholar and I used to journey. It used to take me an hour to get to college. But I used to do that often. But then I have stayed in hostel during events. And then I find it fairly good.
So, suppose someone wants to pursue higher education after his bachelor's. So, how is the environment in the college?
Higher education in SRM or higher
education outside SRM or inside?
If somebody in SRM wants to pursue higher education outside, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
And what is the environment over there?
Yeah, so...
No, I think most SRM, like any other college, the students are mostly driven by what the society tells them. So people don't exactly focus on what their interests and what their skill sets are. If everyone is applying for an MBA, everyone starts applying for an MBA. So it's a trend you can observe that few colleges, everyone prefers going to marketing. In other colleges, everyone prefers going to operations. So it is something which is mostly ingrained by social pressure. I don't really think people are quite kind of focusing because they're doing a master's and then again they want to change their kind of degree or anything. They want to apply for more degrees, they want to go for different jobs. But then it is very conducive. Everyone wants to do something, but then eventually majority end up in placements.
So coming on to this placements, how is the placement scenario over there?
The placement scenarios, again, that is also pretty good, but they have this policy that you sit only for one company and once you get selected, you let the others get a chance. But then of course, whenever there's a very good company, they let you have a second and third shot. But then there are so many students, there's a lot of students in SRM, because of which I think even the placement scenario is kind of very competitive.
So, how about fee structure?
The fee structure, I think it is fairly expensive. It's not like the government colleges at a low rate. At the same time, it is not even a standard moderate rates like most of the universities. There are a few elite universities like SRM, VIT. They charge beyond $1.5 lakh per year, which I feel is not affordable to many people. And on top of that, there are donations for those who don't get in through merit scholarship. So even for them, I think it's a little expensive, but people are affording it. People are paying for it.
So how about living costs?
Living costs are okay, but then I believe again that the hostels are again expensive enough because there's a lot of students. So they are making it expensive and students are moving out and they're staying outside. So it is a fairly expensive thing.
So quick fire questions for you. What was your best weekend getaway, in your college days?
My weekend getaway was the college. Whenever I
Okay.
had weekends, I went to the college and I was into events. It was so many activities.
It was such a happening place.
It was very much like that. So my life was after classes.
You must be missing it.
Yeah, very much. But then even right now I'm having a great time.
So favorite hangout place?
Hangout place in college was, we have the cafeteria area. So
Yeah.
we meet up, discuss. It's fun.